why Americans keep failing at weight loss, and what Japan figured out centuries ago. You've done everything right. You joined the gym in January, you downloaded the calorie app, you swapped bread for lettuce wraps, and survived 3 weeks of misery. And then slowly, quietly, you were right back where you started. Here's the thing. That's not a you problem. That's a biology problem. When your body loses weight, it doesn't celebrate. It panics. Your metabolism downshifts. Your hunger hormones surge. Your brain starts treating your diet like a threat to survival. Because evolutionarily, that's exactly what it is. Your body doesn't know about swimsuit season. It only knows it wants to stay alive. This is why research consistently shows that the vast majority of long-term diets fail. Not because Americans lack discipline, but because the entire approach is working against human biology. Now consider this. Japan has an obesity rate of roughly 4%. The United States sits closer to 40%. That's not a small gap. That's a completely different reality. And what makes it stranger is that Japanese people eat rice every day. They eat noodles. They eat snacks. They don't spend their lives at the gym. Gym membership rates in Japan are remarkably low. And genetics isn't the explanation either. The biological differences simply don't account for numbers that dramatic. So what is the explanation? It's not a diet, it's a design. The way Japanese culture has structured daily life, food, movement, timing, environment, quietly produces leanness without anyone trying very hard. And every single principle behind it is available to any American willing to make a few small shifts. Here are 9 of them. Habit 1. Your taste buds were trained. They can be retrained. In Japan, food education starts young and starts seriously. School lunches are designed by nutrition professionals, prepared fresh daily, and eaten together as a class. Children grow up experiencing real flavors. Vegetables, fish, rice, fermented foods. And those flavors become the baseline for what normal food tastes like. In the United States, school food has largely been shaped by contracts with food service corporations. The result is a generation trained on heavily processed, heavily sweetened, artificially flavored food, and a nervous system that now treats those flavors as the default. Here's the good news. Taste is not fixed. It's a learned preference, which means it can be unlearned. Research on taste adaptation shows that consistent exposure to less processed food gradually recalibrates what your palate finds satisfying. You don't need a dramatic overhaul. Replace one processed item per week with something whole. Give your brain 6 to 8 weeks. The cravings genuinely shift. Habit 2. Stop relying on willpower. Redesign your environment. Japan has an extraordinarily dense network of convenience stores, far more per capita than the US. But the food inside them looks completely different. Rice balls with salmon, miso soup, grilled fish, tofu, all available for a few dollars, in minutes, at any hour. Convenience in Japan doesn't mean unhealthy. It just means accessible and fast. American convenience culture defaulted to a different equation. Fast came to mean processed, cheap came to mean calorie dense, and available came to mean everywhere all the time. The result is an environment that makes the worst choices the easiest ones. Behavioral psychology has a term for this: environmental design. We believe we make conscious food choices, but research consistently shows that what's nearby, visible, and easy to grab shapes our behavior far more than intention does. The most effective change you can make isn't trying harder. It's changing what's around you. Stock your kitchen differently. Change your route past the vending machine. Make the good option the path of least resistance. Habit 3. The 80% rule that replaces every diet you've ever tried. There's a concept deeply embedded in Japanese food culture. The practice of stopping before you're completely full. Not stuffed. Not satisfied in the American sense of the word, but comfortably, lightly done. Around 80% capacity. Meals in Japan tend to come in multiple small dishes. A little rice, a little soup, a small portion of protein, some vegetables. The variety signals abundance to the brain, even though the total volume is modest. American portion culture runs the opposite direction. Portions have grown dramatically over the past 50 years, and with them, our sense of what a normal amount of food looks like. There's a well-documented psychological effect where people feel satisfied when they've finished what's in front of them, regardless of how much that actually is. Bigger plate, bigger serving, bigger consumption, with no increase in actual satisfaction. Smaller portions don't have to feel like deprivation. They just have to be the new normal. Start with a smaller plate. You'll finish it, feel complete, and consume significantly less, without a single moment of feeling like you're on a diet. Habit 4. The sugar shift that changes everything. The average American consumes roughly twice the sugar of the average Japanese person. This isn't just about candy and dessert. It's baked into beverages, sauces, breads, and foods that don't even taste sweet. In Japan, soft drink cans are smaller. Desserts exist, but are modest in size and approached as an experience rather than a volume event. Sweetness is present, it's just not constant. What's remarkable about sugar intake is how quickly the palate adjusts when it's reduced. Studies on taste adaptation have found that people who significantly cut back on added sugar for 2 months begin perceiving the same foods as noticeably sweeter than before. Your sensitivity recalibrates. Foods that used to taste normal start tasting overwhelming. You don't have to eliminate sugar. Start by replacing one sweetened drink per day with unsweetened green tea. It's calorie-free, has documented metabolic benefits, and within a few weeks, you'll likely find your tolerance for sweetness has quietly decreased on its own. Habit 5. Eat on a schedule and watch your cravings disappear. Japanese eating patterns tend to follow consistent timing. Breakfast in the morning, lunch midday, dinner in the early evening. Meals are predictable, regular, and structured. This matters more than most people realize. Your hunger hormones, the ones that drive cravings and signal fullness, operate on a rhythm. When your eating schedule is consistent, those hormones sync to it. Your body begins anticipating meals, preparing digestive resources in advance, and, critically, not screaming for random snacks at 10 p.m. because it never learned when to expect food. Chaotic eating schedules produce chaotic hunger. When your body doesn't know when food is coming, it compensates by amplifying cravings and pushing you toward high-calorie, fast-energy foods whenever the opportunity arises. Pick consistent meal times and hold to them for 3 weeks. The difference in how your hunger behaves will be noticeable. Habit 6. Movement woven into life, not scheduled into it. Japanese people are not known for gym culture. What they are known for is moving constantly throughout the day. Walking to transit stations, cycling to work, climbing stairs, covering ground on foot as a normal part of getting from one place to another. Exercise scientists have a term for this: non-exercise activity thermogenesis, the calorie expenditure that comes from all movement that isn't structured exercise. Research has shown this can account for a significant portion of daily energy output, and it accumulates without any of the psychological friction that a gym routine carries. The American model tends to compartmentalize movement. You either exercise or you don't, and if you miss your workout, the day is a loss. The Japanese model makes that distinction irrelevant because movement isn't a scheduled event. It's just how you get through the day. Look at your daily routine and find one place to add walking. Park further away, take the stairs, walk during a phone call. Small, consistent, frictionless. Habit 7. Slow down and let your brain catch up. Here's a physiological fact that most American eating habits completely ignore. It takes approximately 20 minutes for your stomach to communicate fullness to your brain, which means if you eat a meal in 8 minutes, which is entirely possible and extremely common, your brain doesn't receive the signal until you've already been done for 12 minutes. Japanese meals are slower by cultural design. Chopsticks require more precision. Dishes arrive in courses. Eating is unhurried. You don't need chopsticks to capture this benefit. Put your fork down between bites. Chew fully before picking it up again. Have a conversation during the meal. Drink water between bites. These aren't tricks. They're just strategies for giving your biology enough time to do its job. People who eat slowly consistently consume less without trying to. Habit 8. Treat eating as an event, not a chore. In Japan, meals are treated with a degree of intentionality that American food culture has largely abandoned. There's a moment of acknowledgement before eating. The meal has a beginning. People are present for it, not scrolling through their phones, not eating standing over the kitchen sink, not watching television with a plate on their lap. This isn't just cultural ceremony, it's neuroscience. Eating while distracted consistently leads to higher consumption, lower satisfaction, and reduced awareness of fullness cues. Your brain needs to be present to process the meal. When it's elsewhere, it doesn't register what you've eaten the same way, and you end up feeling less satisfied from the same amount of food. One meal per day, put the phone face down, sit at a table, be there for it. You'll be surprised how different the experience of eating becomes when you're actually paying attention. Habit 9. Stop fighting your body. Work with it. Every diet in American culture is built on the premise of overriding the body, eating less than you want, moving more than feels natural, white-knuckling your way through cravings, and treating hunger as an enemy to be defeated. Japanese food culture is built on the opposite premise. The goal isn't to fight biology. It's to structure life in a way where biology naturally lands in a healthy place, where the environment makes good choices easy, where eating patterns support hormonal rhythms, where movement is constant but effortless, where food is respected rather than feared or indulged. Leanness in Japan isn't the result of discipline, it's the result of design. The shift for Americans isn't about trying harder, it's about borrowing a few design principles that make the healthy choice the default choice, and letting your body do the rest. Which of these 9 habits feels most immediately doable for you? Drop it in the comments, and if you want more on how culture, psychology, and daily design shape health outcomes, subscribe.